My name's Antoinette Lavalle. I am from Des Moines and I am the director of Leah's Year. So Leah's Year is a short documentary. It features my friend Leah, and it basically is just her reflecting on the past 2 years during the pandemic. Yeah, it's just her little reflection of kind of before, during, and after kind of what she went through. Obviously, the past 2 years, life looked very different for a lot of different people. We weren't able to hang out as much. Really, we weren't able to see each other at all. So we kind of had a little reunion outside and just talked about what she had kind of gone through. I wanted to create something that wasn't my own story and just get an idea or get a different point of view of what was happening these past 2 years. So Leah's always been so cool and resilient, and I just chose her. The film was made like within an hour or two. We shot some at her apartment, we shot some here downtown Des Moines. We really took about an hour or two and just kind of knocked it out. I kind of followed her around documentary style. There's a moment that, yeah, your heart just kind of drops into your stomach and you're just like, you know, this is obviously something that I haven't had to deal with. And so hearing her perspective on everything, I mean, it kind of floored me. And I kind of had a personal dilemma about, because I edit it as well, and I was thinking, what's the overall tone of this? Is this going to be uplifting, sort of hopeful sort of tone? Or are we, because it got pretty dark there in a couple spots, and I left some of that out, because in the end, I wanted it to be kind of this resiliency of Leah to shine through. But yeah, it was tough. There were some tough things that, and as her friend, you know, it makes me even sadder to hear. But yeah, I think overall we kind of got a nice balance of hopefulness, but then some real truth to what she's been experiencing as well.
Normally, if I'm like out doing stuff in nature, it sucks because the wheelchair sucks. But at the botanical center, I can enjoy plants without, you know? So that's like great. Hi, my name is Leah. I'm 30 years old. I have spastic cerebral palsy. I'm quadriplegic, and I live on my own with the help of other people. Primarily caregivers that I pay for their work, and my father.
And where are we?
We are in my apartment in Iowa. In order to prep for like COVID and the idea of living in the pandemic, it was a lot more mental work than it was like actually doing things. It was just the idea of, okay, I'm gonna have to stay inside for a while. And it was like, there was this overwhelming fear of dying, and I don't know if it was more prevalent for me because I have that extensive medical history that I have, but I was terrified. So I took it very seriously, and I was like, okay, if this lasts years, I'm gonna stay inside for years. That's what's going to happen. I'm gonna live through it and I don't care what it takes me. The things I did during the pandemic, honestly, they revolved around just trying to get through a day. If I woke up and I got in my chair and I had maybe showered and brushed my teeth, that was a good day. Like, I had somebody coming in the morning to get me up regardless, so I was going to be up. I was going to be in pain. There was nothing I could do about that. in order to do those things, I would lean really heavily on like manga and anime. Anything animated I really loved because I felt like with animated stuff and fantasy stuff in general, I can pretend that my life is, different. My takeaways from the pandemic are really, I'm not valued. I'm not. Disabled people and other minorities are not the same as white working people or cisgender people. We're just not. We don't get to be normal. And I think disability is one of those things where we have to ask that question of treat us like human beings. But for disabled people, there's so many different things that can be wrong with us that we need so many different adaptations. It's a constant uphill battle, and what this pandemic taught me is that there's people that will never understand that, will never accept that I am a full human being. And that's the case for a lot of us. A lot of us. When I was approaching the end of the pandemic, and I was thinking about things I really wanted to do, personally, all I really wanted to do was do normal things, like go to the museum, go to the park, maybe go out to eat, just be around people without fear. That's one thing I never expected to experience in my life, was just the sheer terror of people just for existing. They didn't have to do anything. All they had to do was exist outside my door, and I was scared. And I never would have thought of that. But that's something I wanted to do. I just wanted to be around people again without fear. And I think, as a country, we're going to have to get better about how we handle things like this, because this was and still is terrifying, and it's going to keep happening over the years. I think it's wrong for people to think this is a one-time thing. It definitely is not. We need to have a plan in place, and unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen. So I've been internally working on how I can deal with the fear of living in this country. We need to implement some way past where we are right now. And I don't know how we do that. But it's gonna take all of us.